Okay. Looks like we are live, baby. We are live, baby. All right. So, trade journal number one. All right. Let's see. Let me see. What is it actually recording right now? It's not recording exactly what I'd want it to record. I'm looking for it to record. Oh, here we go. I can move it around. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that works. That works. That works. Although I wonder if I can expand it. Hmm. Whatever. Anyways, so we're gonna start with MES. The market opens in about an hour, little under an hour. Yesterday, let's see. We had this hour gap that formed. Price came into that hour gap. It also broke last week's low, and it's looking like today is going to be a bullish day. That's what I'm kind of banking on. Today being bullish, the last few days have been bearish days, and now that we've entered in this 1 hour gap, pretty large 1 hour gap, but a 1 hour gap, I'm looking to kind of see what it does from here. And again, considering that we broke the lows of the week from last week. We broke the lows from last week. I'm looking to see some bullishness. Now, we do have news today that I kind of forgot about. So I almost don't want to. Let's see. What do we got today? Yeah, we got meeting minutes at 1 p.m. So if I do any trading this morning, then what's going to happen is I'm going to cut it before 1. So if I'm in a position uh, past 12 o'clock, I'm making sure I'm out of it by 12:30 because when news comes out, whatever happens in the meeting minutes, I want to make sure that I'm not in any open positions at that time. So uh, the market can definitely have a swift move in the opposite direction of where I'm looking to go once that news hits. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Um, Dang, can I? How do I expand that? I gotta see how I expand that. View, scale to window, canvas. Oh no. That's too no. Scale to window. Nah. Okay. I wonder how this looks if I went to view it on my own. Hmm. Let's see. Let's go view it for myself. See what it looks like. Let's see. Let's go view it for myself. See what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, I need more of my MES, the watch list over to the side. All right. I'll worry about that later. Not gonna worry about that now. So yeah, I'm looking to go bullish on MES, MNQ. All the indices are looking like they're pretty bullish at this point. They've all kind of came into quality zones. Because MNQ also broke the low from last week. Broke the high 2 days ago, and you swept the low today, and or last night in the overnight session, you swept the low, and right now you got a pretty explosive bullish candle on the hour time frame that we're looking like we're going to close um, above the previous high, lower high that was created, um, which created a break of structure, which creates a break of structure from the overall downtrend that we've been seeing over the last couple of days here. So I am um, looking for a pullback on a smaller time frame. We'll see what happens, but I'm not gonna do anything until 8 o'clock or after 8:30 once the market opens. We'll see exactly how this plays out over the next hour. But I'm looking for a pullback down into. Let's see if I can. Um, this is potentially a demand zone right here. I'll even. I'll say right here. I'll go wick to wick on this one. So wick to wick, this is a demand zone that I'd look to see. Okay, that I want to see price return to. I'll get rid of this here. This 1 minute supply zone. Okay, that can go. This can go. All right, so we got a wick to wick demand zone here that I want to see price bounce back into. And if price comes back into that, I'm looking to go long with a target probably somewhere around here. This is a supply zone. Could go further, but keep it simple. We're gonna keep it simple. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on MNQ. MES is kind of giving me the same thing. Could pull back into this area. We got a demand zone here as well. You got a really explosive move here on the Dow Jones. I like that move. Let's see. Oops. I mean to go to the day. Yeah, I like that move here on the Dow Jones that it made in this 7 o'clock hour. A lot of bullish momentum. So I definitely want to see a pullback. Let's see what it looks like on the Russell 2000. The same thing. All the indices are pretty much moving the same at this point. So we want to see a pullback and then a continuation to the upside. Gold is doing the same as well. All of these were previously having sell-offs for the most part over the last couple of days. Although gold has been consolidating, it's been pretty range bound for the last week and a half or so actually. So it's a possibility we're going to explode past last week's high, and that could happen today. We shall see. This is another one that I kind of want to keep an eye on, and I want to figure out where I could potentially have an entry point. And I'm looking at, again, I want to go wick to wick. I could go body, top of the body of this candle here, but I want to go wick to wick on it just because, give me a little more space to potentially enter. I'm just going to go ahead and mark that off as my demand zone. Get rid of this. Can get rid of this. Stretch that out. But yeah, we can get rid of that. I don't need it. I don't think we need that. This is last week's high. So we want to see it break above that for sure. My guess is it's going to explode beyond that. But again, we'll see. We don't know. We do have the minutes at 1 o'clock today, 1 p.m. Central Time. And so I don't really want to play around with having a trade open once that news occurs or we get close to that news time. Okay. So I'm trading on my personal account. On my personal account, I'm not going to mess around with platinum or copper because they're not micros, and I'm not willing to put on one contract for platinum's too large a size. So not willing to do that. So I'm not even mess. I'm not even gonna look at those charts. Kind of the same with natural gas. I don't have a micro natural gas on my watch list, so I don't mess with that either. Never in my life did I think I see the day with my name, but okay, I'm going back in. All right, crude oil. We are seeing some movement to the downside. This could be turning around. Let's see what it looked like on a daily. Um, hmm. Yeah, it had been experiencing some upside. Today, I do think that I'm not sure we could continue that bullishness, but I don't really like the way this chart looks, to be honest with you. Let me go ahead and mark it up. I got a gap here on the hour that you could come into once the market opens and then continue bullish. That is a possibility. Or it could do nothing around the open. And around 1 p.m., once we get news, that's when it makes this move. That can definitely happen as well. So the ones I'm going to focus on right now are the indices and gold. Those are my in plays that I'm looking at potentially having a position on, especially if I get a pullback after the market opens. If I don't get that pullback, then might not have anything, because I won't be in front of my charts by the time news hits at 1 p.m. to be able to do anything around that time. So if I can't catch anything before 10:30, then it's a no trade day. And that's exactly what it is. I had one of them yesterday. The thing with yesterday though is that I had a trade on gold actually. Let me see if I still got it marked up. Yeah. So this hour gap right here that we are currently in, actually, yesterday, that gap was created in the overnight session. When the market opens, I was expecting for price to get into that gap and then shoot down. So I had an entry, a pending order sitting there waiting, but it never got hit. As you can see, price got a few ticks away on 3 different occasions actually, and then made its move. So completely missed that position, missed that trade, which is fine. I wasn't going to chase price. So missed out on that. It was a no trade day, but that's fine. Never in my life did I think I see the day. Going back in. All right. But we got a gap that was created here. So could see a pullback in here. This is a 10-minute gap though. It's a big gap, big 10-minute gap. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking for a pullback on gold, and then we can continue bullish. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And I want to see this weekly high get hit, last week's high. I want to see that get hit. That will be my target. on a pullback or this higher time frame supply zone I got up here marked off. One of those two. But we're gonna play the waiting game. The waiting game it is. It's moving right now though. It's definitely moving. But yeah, so I used to always get caught just trying to chase price. And I've worked on my patience, worked on having a plan and a strategy. And so now um, I don't have the excitement that I used to have as far as like seeing price move away and thinking, oh, I need to be in this trade. Like, why am I not in this trade? And then forcing positions. And then as soon as I enter, the price goes against me. And you know how that goes. Never in my life did I think I see the day. Going back in. Yeah, gold is the one I really, I really want. Between there and MNQ, the micro NQ contract. I mean, again, all the indices and gold are kind of moving the same way right now. So it's a matter of which one I get the pullback on and which one I get the pullback into the proper zone and area that I have marked up. Which specifically on MNQ, I got this demand zone on the 1 hour. If I drop it down to the 10, I got a gap here that it could potentially get to. Like I said, on the MES. Same thing, got a demand zone down here, which I don't have marked up, but 10-minute gap. I don't know. We're just waiting until market open, seeing what we can get. Ooh. I need water. The Russell is moving.
Margaret Alley.
The Russell is moving. How many ticks has this moved? We got 376 ticks. Its average. Its average is 417 ticks. Whew. Okay. Never in my life did I think I'd see the day. I need some water. I need some water. Shit. Get it in a bit. Get it in a bit. This thing is running away. I'm hoping with that being said that when the market opens, we can catch a nice little pullback. We shall see, but it is running away right now. Mm. So I gotta sit on my hands and let it do what it's gonna do. Let it do what it's gonna do. Oh. Man, gold is definitely running. So it's looking like it's gonna hit my target way before market open. As far as breaking the previous last week's high, yeah, that's gonna happen for sure. Then next target is the higher time frame supply zone that I got marked up here, which looks like it's guaranteed to get there. It's just a matter of when that's gonna happen. And right now we're getting substantial movement to the upside. Pre-market open, so hmm. Chasing price is never an option. I mean, Q still has a little more room to go to get to our target. So we've already moved 992 ticks for the day. Oh no. Well, that's just the morning. The entire is 1315 ticks from the overnight session to current time. The average is 2200, so we still got almost 1,000 ticks in potential movement on average for the day with NQ, the micro contracts, micro NQ. So if we could sure get up here, which is what I personally want to see, and I feel like I have a better chance with MNQ than I do with gold because gold is just rallying. Not that MNQ isn't, but there's more room to move towards our target. Unless we're targeting these higher time frame zones, then yeah, we got some space there as well. But gold has also already moved 1,200 927 ticks. Its average um, true range is 987 ticks. So we're already beyond that. Not to say that it couldn't move another few hundred ticks or whatever, but uh, okay, it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. You got a new hour. How did that candle close? Super bullish, obviously. We're getting a pullback here. If you drop it down to the 10-minute, where could this pullback go to? Ideally, I wanted to come into this gap here. It's a pretty wide 10-minute gap, but that's a possibility. Otherwise, we got this. It could be considered a demand zone here. On the 10-minute time frame, let's mark that up. It's a 10-minute demand zone. So we got our hour demand zone here. We got our 10-minute here. We got a pretty wide gap created on the 10-minute candle after this explosive move that was created. It broke the lows here, or previous highs, I should say. Well, lower high, lower low. This candle is breaking other previous highs. So, I mean, you really don't have no choice but to be bullish on this. Assuming we get a nice pullback. Okay, MNQ is giving us something as far as the pullback goes. We still got 29 minutes until the market opens. But I am liking the pullback. I want to be able to see if I can. I don't know if it's going to get down into this hour demand zone that I have. But if I can, technically, we're in a 10-minute gap right now. Although I would prefer that it gets into this 10-minute gap, I just don't know if it's going to happen. Let me put my long tool on. If we have our stop right below, we have our target here. I probably still want to wait it out though. See if we can get into this 10-minute gap. I don't think we're going to reach the hour demand zone that I have marked up. It's too much momentum. I don't know if I see that much of a pullback or retracement. But there's potential to get into this 10-minute gap here. Let me mark that off. Mark that up. Okay, this is a 10-minute gap. If that happens, we want to enter. Get it at the top of the gap. Have our stop below this candle. That's a wide stop, much wider than I want it to be. That gap is a little larger than I want it to be. But if we're targeting this, we still have a 2-to-1 risk to reward, which is quality. We do one contract, nothing greater than one contract. We're risking $226 for the chance to make $475. That's not terrible. Not mad at it. But if it does come into this demand zone, then that's where my stop is a little too close. And I'd want it to be below the demand zone. What I could do is get taken out and then re-enter or whatever, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I want to see how it reacts. If it, for one, if it gets to this 10-minute gap, and then two, how it moves once it gets there. I do see the turnaround though. I don't want to pull my stop further back. That I don't want to do. Because ideally, my stop would be below these candles. And that's true invalidation of the position. Because there's a potential that it could come, like I said, down into this demand zone and then wick, shoot straight up from there. Which my stop is at the beginning of last hour's candle. So actually, like the open of last hour's candle, the 7 o'clock candle is where my stop is currently at, and that's assuming that I get entered into the position at this 10-minute gap, which it is slowly approaching at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and just place the trade. So we'll see what happens if it comes into that area, if I can get filled. 25 minutes until the market opens. I don't know if I should leave that order there or if I should wait, see what happens after the market opens. I'd hate to have it pushed down into that demand zone, tap me out, and then run in my direction. But we'll see what happens. Let's go to MES. It's another gap, 10-minute gap. You can see price get into that 10-minute gap. You got a demand zone right below it, which typically that's how it works. You typically have a demand zone right below a gap, because in order for that gap to exist, you have to have an explosive move. And that explosive move tends to leave a gap. And then what precedes that gap usually is a demand zone or a supply zone, depending on if you're bullish or bearish. You know, if the chart's bullish or bearish, I should say. See, we're in this latest gap. That's the other thing I don't like is sometimes what'll happen is you come in, you fill the closest gap, you don't necessarily come down to that first gap that was created. Although I would prefer to get tagged in off that first gap. Just better risk to reward for sure. But we still got 23 minutes until the market opens, so but that's the one position I'm looking at right now. Is this on M&Q? If I can get tagged in with price coming into that 10-minute gap, that's with my target being placed at that supply zone up there. That's what I'm looking at. So go ahead and look at some other charts. Again, I'm not trading platinum, not trading copper, not on my personal account, not trading natural gas. Again, we got an hour gap that was created here that I want to see a pullback into. Some people live just for the fame. Some people want it all. I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby. Now it's looking like it want to move away. Like it don't want to get me tagged in. It don't want to tag me in. Come on, coach. Get me in the game, coach. Get me in the game. But we got 21 minutes until market open, so we'll see. I need some water. Some people want it all. Oh shoot, a ladder. Oh, this is for tomorrow. Yes, by the ladder. Um, okay. Yeah, damn it, damn it, damn it. So I don't know if I'm gonna get tagged into this one. It doesn't look like it's gonna come down into again where this is before market opens. So we'll see what happens if the market opens, but or when the market opens. But right now he came into that more recent gap. You didn't reach down into my 10-minute gap that I have marked up. The first one that was created, which is what I would have liked to see. Um, that is again, that's just me being a little more conservative rather than having the aggressive approach and entering on that first gap, which is kind of what I was thinking I wanted to do at first, but I'm like, that's a little more aggressive. And let's see if I put my long tool there. Like I said, I would have entered in, my entry would have been somewhere in this gap. Let's just say the bottom of the gap or the bottom of the candle, the wick. Stop being, the reason I don't like it is just my stop would have to be in this second gap for it to make sense based on my target. Now that is a 4-to-1, which is quality. It's a quality trade. I would have been risking $102 to make 426. Actually wasn't bad. I didn't put my long tool there to see, only because I was hoping that price would actually come into that first 10-minute gap that was created, which is what I would have preferred. I would have preferred that. But it's looking like I might not get tagged in. Might not get tagged in. We'll see. Again, we got at this point, 16 minutes until the market opens. 16 of them things. Some people want it all. I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby. I ain't got you, baby. Ugh. J. Cole had a concert last night here. Would have liked to go, but I didn't make it. But I was watching some clips that people put online and stuff on TikTok or whatever. It looked like it was a good show. Like he did his thing. Um, can I get a pullback into a gap for on any of these? Yeah, got a gap here on the 10-minute. I just want to see you touch the gap, baby. Touch the gap, baby. And gold, look at that. Look at gold. Sheesh. Gold ain't playing around. Gold ain't playing around. I ain't waiting for nobody. Gold said, nah, you can kiss my ass. You ain't getting no pullback. We got a slight pullback on this candle that we're on now. You know, came back a little bit. Probably into the nearest, well, yeah, not to that demand zone. But gold is gone. Gold is gone. That's a trade that is not gonna happen. That's one that I would have had to have gotten in, you know, an hour ago. When I first seen it kind of beginning to move. If I had to drop down to the 1 minute, I might have been able to see an entry, possibly. Let's see. I mean, not really, because it just wasn't giving no type of pullback. Like this is just straight run it up. You know, some accumulation, run it up, slight pullback. I guess right here, you got to pull back into a 1 minute gap. Let's go ahead and enlarge it. So you had this run up, you had this gap created. That was the first gap, but it looks like you got a gap in between here that was created off of a demand zone. And let's see, the gap was right. Ah, Jesus. There we go. Basically right there. Okay. And if we stretch that thing out, fuck. Come on. You're right there. Come on now. All right, never mind. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Okay, shit. I'm just trying to stretch it out manually. All right, so yeah, you came right into that gap a little, yeah, push a little beyond it, a little below it, and then shot straight up. So on a 1 minute, I could have potentially caught that, possibly, but I wasn't looking at the 1 minute. And here's the demand zone here. Well, I mean, you got this one really, but that's within the 10-minute demand zone. So I'd say on the 1 minute, you got this one. Created a small gap, pushed up, came right back into that gap, and then continued up, which it could be doing again here. You got a gap that was created right here. Oops. Right there. It's a gap. Price look like it wants to come back into it. So that could be another potential entry. You get in this 1 minute gap, demand zone right there, 1 minute gap, and then, but here's my thing is like, what do you target at this point? Like you're already damn near at where your original target was with this higher time frame demands or supply zone. So it's kind of like you're already there. Like where are you going to target? You don't really have much as far as movement to make to get to reach your target. So that's a no go. Go back to MNQ. Okay. I mean, this still could potentially get hit. Like I said, we got 11 minutes until the market opens. Price could definitely come back down or come down into that 10-minute gap, which is what I want to see. Again, I do not like, the only thing I don't like is that my stop is not below the demand zone. But in order for me to do that, I would have to move my entry point into the demand zone, essentially. Um, which I just don't know if price is going to get that far. So it was one of them things. And I know, I really don't believe price will even reach the demand zone. It's having a hard time even getting into this 10-minute gap. So, and I don't know if it will get into the 10-minute gap. That first one, I might just kind of struggle around here for a little bit before pushing up and hitting our target. Ooh, that's tomorrow. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look at that candle. Nope, nope, nope. It's looking like I want to go. Mm. Yeah, it's looking like it wants to push. It's looking like it wants to push up. Ah. Mm. 9 minutes till the market opens. I would like to have this risk lower than 200, but just based on market structure, I'm not moving my stop closer, and I don't want to move my entry lower. So that's the only issue I'm having. So it's $26 more than what I would like to risk, but that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. 8 minutes to the market opens. MNQ is already. So on the 1 minute, if I was going to enter on the 1 minute, again, it's kind of like I just don't have a target in mind without it being, somewhere randomly within this zone. And it's just kind of like, yeah, it can continue pushing up, but like where exactly? If I go, let me look at the 1 minute or look back in the 1 minute within this higher time frame. Oh my gosh, how far do I got to go back though? Ooh, too far. I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. Yeah, even on a 1 hour, you got to go back super far. So, nah. Yeah. That'd been a great trade though if I like either got in it on the overnight session, um, which I wasn't looking at charts during the overnight session, or an hour ago. An hour ago it was 8 o'clock hour. This is the 7 o'clock hour candle. So 7 o'clock, it started down here like, and it just explosive move, super explosive move. Mm. But without a pullback, it's kind of like I'm not just I'm not chasing price. I'm not doing that. Done that too many times in the past and got burned. It's not the smartest way to trade. Not the best way to trade at all. Mm-mm. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh Sharon. Ugh. All right. 5 minutes now. 5 minutes. All right. Dow Jones look like I want to get into that zone, into a zone here. Um, yeah, MNQ is not looking like it wants to do what I want it to do. The Dow, potentially. Now, we don't have the movement on the Dow isn't nearly as great as the movement on MNQ. That part I don't like, but if we can get, let me see. We are much closer here than we are on the Dow for sure. Or excuse me, than we are on MNQ. Damn it. Let's go back to hour. Drop it down to 10. It's in there. Let's see if we got touched in there. Stop right below that candle. Target here. It's a 2-to-1. Risk 159, earn 3. I'm placing that. Yep. See if we can get in. Got 2 contracts on that one. But our stop is below $200, which is what I like to see. Target at 324. Although that's not the nearest. Oh, that's a 4-hour. Look at the 1 hour. Okay. That's an old. Is that an old demand zone I got? Let me actually redraw that. Let's see. Where would I target? That was on the high side. Okay. No, I see what I did. There to here. That's a supply zone. I don't know why it was green. Okay, but I got it going deep in there. I could actually move it a little closer. Not quite a 2-to-1 now, but it's more than a 1-to-1. So, but again, I gotta get tagged in, and it's not looking like I'm gonna get tagged in there either. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. All right, come on, MNQ. I would prefer to get in on this one more so than I would on the Russell or on the Dow Jones. Personally, I would definitely prefer the MNQ. I just feel like it's a higher quality trade. With that being said, I should drop this contract down from 2-to-1 just because I don't feel like it's as high quality. Let's see if I can do a modification. There's 1 contract. All right, we'll do that. I'll do that. looking like we might get tagged in on that one. We'll see what happens. I did push, so my entry is a little lower than what I would typically do. Not by much, just a few ticks, a couple ticks. Up, up, up. Come on now. All right. Look, oh, we're tagged in. We're tagged in. Market just opened. Don't push straight down. It is pushing straight down right now too. Let's see what happens. Tagged in. Ugh. Oh shoot, we got it tagged in both. I kind of. All right. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what occurs. We shall see what occurs here. Let them do what they do. Run. Now, here's what I don't like to do. I don't like to just sit and watch the positions, because what happens is I sit and watch the positions and then I get anxious. I want to exit the positions and move my stop, and that's annoying. So just kind of want to let it do what it's supposed to do. I already got my stop set. I already have my take profit set. I'm comfortable with the losses if I do happen to lose. And I'm comfortable with the wins if I win. So with that being said, I was going to kind of let the trades run. Again, this one isn't as high quality to me. Probably should have took it off, to be honest, instead of even just kind of letting this one run, but it is what it is. So you see this one's running up, and this one is running down. Currently, at least. Yeah, it looks like it's going to get me out. I'm not going to mess with it, but it looks like it wants to take me out for sure. Whatever happens, it says 8:32. Again, it's super early. The market just opened. We're only 2 minutes into the market open, so you're gonna have a lot of back and forth movement. A lot of back and forth movement. That one's looking good though. This one not so much. I'm glad I dropped it down to one, but I really should have. I should have just took the trade away completely, because I already knew. I'm like, this one doesn't look as high quality to me, and I was right. So far, at least, I'm right, based on the way that it's moving. Moving pretty strong to the downside. See, what I see with this one is it's probably gonna come down. Oh, it's gonna take me out. Yeah, we're really close to being taken out. So probably get stopped out here. Maybe not, but looks like we're gonna get stopped out there. Here. Yeah, no, we're in good profit. Never in my life did I think I see the day. So here we came down, pushed through that 10-minute gap. Not quite down to where I would be getting out. And now I'm getting a pullback on MNQ as well, slightly. Yeah, getting a pullback on MNQ as well right now. I mean, I got my trades placed. What I don't like to do is just sit around looking at this stuff because, again, like you get fluctuations and it get your emotions involved and stuff, and you tend to make bad decisions once that occurs. So just kind of got to play it out or let it play out. Trust your analysis. Um, and that's that, you know, because the market's going to do what it does. You really can't control what the market does. It's kind of out of your control. What you can control is your emotions. I can control whether I stay in a position, whether I exit early. Um, those are the things I can control. First, know how I feel myself. Ooh. But I mean, we got all day. That kind of sucks. I'd be so high if it came down into that demand zone and then shot up. Oh, I'd be hot. That would be annoying. But it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. One thing I'm not gonna do. I keep saying this is like my third time saying I'm not gonna sit around and watch the market, but I'm sitting here watching the market, just watching it move. So, if we drop down, again, we're in that 10-minute gap here. Curious to see how this hour candle closes because I think that's going to determine what happens in the next hour for sure. 100% sure. How this candle closes determines how the next hour candle performs. Mm. The best loser wins. That's the name of the game. So you want to be able to lose with grace, essentially. Lose and not take your computer and throw it out the window. Which people get mad. They get upset when they take losses. You want to manage the losses. You want to have small losses in combination with small wins and larger wins, and that's how you maintain profitability in this game of trading. And if you can't do that, then you are going to be a losing trader long term. I don't like the way this candle's forming though. It is is this gonna be another bearish day? It's very possible. This could be another bearish day. Wasn't looking like it, but it could be another bearish day. I mean, we have been bearish. Okay, so when I go to the daily chart on the Russell, or excuse me, on the Dow Jones, I see a gap here that was formed. So there's a good chance on this one for sure that You come into this gap, boom, and then push down. I missed that when I was looking at it earlier. MNQ, I mean, there's a larger gap, but that gap is so vast. Like, it's a pretty damn big gap. Yeah, this ain't looking good. It's not looking good. It's coming into that demand zone now. The dreaded demand zone that I was saying I didn't want it to come into. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But that's two trades that I'm placing, and once these trades are either lost or won, that is it. My day is over with. So it's looking like an early day for me. It's 8:40. I mean, I don't really plan on placing any other trades anyways. So I really could just like close my laptop, call it a day, go about my day, and let these play out. What's going to happen is going to happen. And nothing I can do about it but accept it. And that is it. So, yeah, this one we're getting close to being put out, taken out, which I'm expecting to be taken out of this one for sure. Um, this one, we'll see what happens. But it's kind of looking like we might see another bearish day on both. So if that's the case, I could have moved my stop into like break even when I was up here, but it didn't move far enough for me personally to do that. So yeah, but it's not looking good. It's looking like another bearish day potentially, at least right now. 8:41. Yeah, it's not looking good. All right, well, I'm closing well, not closing the trades, but I'm closing my laptop, calling it a day for the day. I could have waited and just kind of seen what happened when the market opened, um, instead of placing my order so early. But I like the way it looked. It looked good in the moment. It's not looking good right now. Like right now, it's looking like we'll have a lot more bearish momentum than I was expecting, um, and then potentially a pullback and continuation. But again, we don't know. We'll see, because this just could be drawdown, and it could turn around and go to my target. Like, we don't know. I will say it's not looking good though, for sure. It's definitely not looking good at all. At least not in this first hour, first 30 minutes of the market open. This is why you want to let your trades play out though, because you just don't know. The market's going to do what it does. So you can make an emotional decision, close out your positions when you're down, seeing some drawdown, but then the market turns around and does exactly what you wanted to do, what you thought it was going to do. And next thing you know, you done took a loss for no reason, like an unnecessary loss. So just let your positions play out. And I've learned that over time. It took a lot of time, a long time to get to this point, but at this point, it's kind of like, trust the process. That's really all it is. Trust the process. Ooh. I keep getting these scam emails, man. Scam emails. Scam calls, scam texts, scam emails. Like, what the hell? It's kind of ridiculous. Ooh. So, with this personal account, I've deposited $4,000 in here. My objective is to grow this from four. I want to double it, get it to eight, get it to 10. Um, but I just want to prove to myself that I can do it with a smaller account, with a $4,000 account, and then go from there into buying multiple accounts with Apex in order to uh, truly capitalize on the opportunity to make larger sums of money with Apex. So with them, they cap you out at six payouts, but they allow you to have up to 20 accounts. So I want to start with like five accounts. Your first payout is $1,500. So if you got five accounts at $1,500, like 7,500 or whatever, 10 accounts, you got $15,000 on that first payout. And then in total, I think you're allowed to get like take $14,500 per account. So, if you got 20 accounts, 14,000 per account, that's a substantial amount of money that you're able to earn over time. Um, just kind of scaling. And so if you can do it with a small account, you can do it with larger sums of money. It's the same process. You're doing the same thing, So that is the objective. All right, we're almost in profit on the Dow Jones. We did get into that demand zone, so that's one where if I had my entry in the demand zone, could have my stop down here, and that'd have been a really, really, really good trade as well. Target really would have been the same. So I'd have been earning more. Let's see what that would have been actually if I had entered at the top of this demand zone. Stop being down here, which is ideally where I would want my stop, to be honest with you. So, but it's one of those things where it's kind of like sometimes it's good to have your entry in the demand zone. So I'd have been risking 180, great risk, to earn 625, great risk reward. Would have been a better trade now, like in retrospect, seeing that it actually came down into that demand zone. But oftentimes I'll see where price doesn't necessarily reach the demand zone. It comes into a gap that follows that demand zone and then takes off. So, but in this situation, it came to the demand zone. It might take me out. It might get me out. I don't know. Definitely potential to get me out there. It's the one thing about entering in gaps. It's because my stop is in the demand zone. I don't like that. Like I would prefer my stop to be below the demand zone because what could happen is, oh shoot, yeah, it's definitely about to get me out. Look at that. Yeah, that shot down quick. Like holy, that shot down real quick. Okay, so we'll see how this moves in this demand zone, but my guess is it's gonna push through it. I don't think it's gonna turn around. It's gonna push through that demand zone more than likely. This one is also probably gonna get me out, but we'll see. From the looks of it, I'm gonna get taken out on both positions. That moved quick though. Like from when it was in this 10 minutes to just dropping down like that and taking me out, yeah, that moved quick. So either way, even if I entered at the top of the demand zone, I still would have got taken out on that one. And this thing is gone now. So it was a fake out, a bullish fake out to continue bearish. And it's looking like we're probably going to do the same on the Dow for sure. Okay, so yeah, this hour candle closed way different from how I was expecting it to close or what I thought it was going to close. Well, I didn't close yet, but it's looking like it will close with extreme bearish momentum. So then that just kind of changes the bias overall from what I initially was thinking to what it is currently. It for sure changes. Um, but my next few trades, I am going to risk less than $150 uh, because now I have a little bit of a drawdown on my account that I gotta get out of. Not a lot, but still, I want to risk less than 150. This one was $26 more than what I like to risk because I want to risk 200 as my max. Um, so now I'm gonna drop that down to 125 or 150, and try to find 3 to 1s. If I can find 3 to 1s, then I'm good. Mm. Can remove that. So now you got a new gap that was created here on a 10-minute. Yep. Got a new gap that was created, and so now you could see a potential pullback in here and continuation down. But that is some serious. Between those two candles, it's kind of ridiculous how drastic of a change that is. You had some pretty bullish momentum up. The candle closed super bullish, and in this candle, the 8 o'clock hour, just like extreme bearish momentum. Like drastic change in those two candles. Yeah, this thing is going to continue bearish, potentially into this demand or your higher time frame demand zone here. But we'll see. The market's going to do what it does. Because again, we could have another turnaround. The next hour candle could just shoot straight beyond this one, engulfing this candle, and then who knows? Like the market's gonna do what it does. Like I said, today's a news day too. We got news at 1 o'clock Central Time, or it's meeting minutes at least, FOMC meeting minutes, and so that also could drastically change the way the candle charts move, or the way these markets move. So we'll see. But look at that. 7 minutes into this hour candle closes. What is this doing? Oh, look at that. I'm gonna be in a profit on this one, potentially. I'm gonna let that run. I could at least get some of my loss back on this one, possibly. We were in gathering when I'm sure as I could ever be. Gold slowed down a lot, which I kind of was expecting because it had so much momentum before the market opened. So it slowed down drastically since 8:30. I'm not getting a whole lot of movement since then. Damn you, MNQ. Damn you, MNQ. Oh, sometimes that's how it is though. It's like the ones that you got the highest conviction in you turn out to be wrong. You know, you have the most confidence in that position, like completely goes against you. The one you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot of confidence in this one. And that happens to be the one that runs for you, you know. It's why your risk management is so important. Ooh, I did take a bigger loss on that MNQ than I would have liked. $26 more than what I would have liked. That original or that demand zone entry for the 180, I would have preferred that, but you know, of course I'd take a 180 loss over a 226 loss, of course. But yeah, so what is MES doing? Oh, look at MES. Damn, came right into that 10-minute gap. It didn't go below it. You know, my stop would have been below it. Stop would have been right here, but it came into that gap. My target, where my target would have been, probably right here. It's a supply zone on the 1 hour. So that's my target. Didn't enter in this one, but that actually would have probably been, that'd have been a good one. Came right into that 10-minute gap. Didn't push below it, so I'd still be in a position. And it's running potentially to that target. But, you know, only time will truly tell what happens. Either way, I'm not placing any more trades for the day. Mm, 4 minutes. I'm just curious to see how this candle closes. Yeah, that MES. Oh, oh, I should have got in on the MES. Let's see. Say I enter that. If I enter at the top of the range, stop right below the range right there, which is still wider than I would like it to be. Target up here. So 2-to-1. Risking 152 to earn 325. And it's looking like potentially going to hit that target without hitting the stop. For sure. So that would have been a good one. Definitely a good one. This one's going up now. In profit there. MAQ's now also moving up after that and took us out. So let's go ahead and remove this 10-minute gap zone that I got there. Oh. All right, but yeah. It never rains in Southern California. The one I had the least conviction in is the one that's moving. The one that's keeping me in the game. Keeping me in the game. I had so much conviction in this one. I knew for sure this was going to win. I'm like, oh yeah, this is it. I didn't foresee it going below. It's definitely not pushing this far below my demand zone. I didn't see that at all. This was a demand zone that I noticed, but I didn't like it because, you know, that's not the one that gave that kind of pushed it up and gave it that explosive move. That wasn't the, let's see, yeah, the explosive move didn't happen immediately following this demand zone, so that's why I didn't put this one as my focus demand zone. And I would not have. I just wouldn't have done that. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I didn't foresee it coming down and sweeping that, but that's what happened. Um, and okay, now the candle closed. This is probably I can watch. This is gonna today's gonna be a bullish day. It's gonna end up being a bullish day. I just have a gut feeling, but I don't know. It's not looking like it from the start of this candle. Mm, none of them. So this one probably not either. It's also probably not going to hit the target that I would have had in mind. So I would still be in the position had I placed that if I was looking at it. But that one would probably be getting me out too. Probably be getting me out too. But we will let this Dow Jones one run. Hmm. At a certain point, I will move my stop into profit, or at least I break even here. But I got to see it make a little more move, little bigger move before I decide to do that. Acting, acting. All right, well, um, I know I'm not gonna place any other trades, and I'm not about to sit in front of this laptop for an hour and a half, just kind of watching what that trade does and what the market is doing because I'm not gonna place anything. I took my one L for the day, and then I got this one doing whatever it's gonna do. Um, so that is it. So that is it for my first trade journal session. But I plan on doing this every time I trade. Just more so for myself because I hate journaling, and so this is the best way for me to journal is just to record while I'm actually trading. That way, I can see what my mindset is in the moment, how I'm looking at the charts, why I place a certain trade, and then I can review that later on. So it's all for myself, but yeah, that's that. So stream is out.